Let's use a smaller Chert hammerstone and try this again on some rock that maybe people can get access to and enjoy working with the hammerstones. This is a Chert half nodule of Edwards. It's got nice soft cortex, and this is some really pretty black Chert. Jason loves this stuff. You can see a crack here, and it's got concrete junk in the middle. So let's use that corner. The crest into that I probably should hit a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and just take a flake off the top. That's not going to be in our point, and those areas tend to get cracks that start in there. Now, this hammerstone is a little on the hard side, so we're going to make a crisp plane to set up some platforms. So I'm thinking about two things. One here, although that can be kind of aggressive, I'm thinking about maybe taking this off and just getting rid of this now. And because I don't know, that's not going to be very good rock in there. I'm glad that I did that. I exposed that crack there. Hopefully that doesn't go too deep. Still a little bit there. I need to get out the smaller. Oh, I set it over here. Let's use this piece of Chert. It's got a soft cortex, and I can come in here and do some finer flaking with it. And snapped my Chert. Okay, this is only going into about there. Make this a little steeper. That might be something in there. Crack. I think that'll chip out. That'll make a nice little scallon. I'm going to braid these sharp edges where I'm holding this. Or turn them a little bit so I'm not slicing my finger. I want to try to keep length, but I'm also bi-pointed. All these little brushing and thickening flakes, just so that when I catch, I'm not catching the edge and shattering. It doesn't take 30 years to be able to do this. It just takes a few months of being with the rock that you've got and working a lot of weird different shapes with the hammerstones and learning how different hammerstones can help you. When to stop. The windows of some of these hammerstones they work really well, but more than almost any other tool, using those windows of efficiency and knowing when to switch tools or different shape hammerstone, different hardness is really important. And get overconfident with some flakes because you're striking above the margin, and then you end up doing some crushing, and you're better off just kind of leaving it be. Let's take this square. Let's take the square edge down here and just make it steeper, and then turn over and look for an angle. It needs to get a little steeper for this hammerstone. See where I cut that? The angle? Now, it would be a good opportunity for a softer hammerstone or a soft hammer to come across here. This would be an instance where if I just really ground this and hit it and got a scallopy flake, it could kind of mess me up for options on what I can do with this. And we can take another short one down here. Let's look at the platform. Too steep here, so I can just do that right there is still, that's not a clean enough contact. Let's come back in here and try to, okay, I think that I can get the little one right here. The sun was out, so I put the phone on my head. As soon as I came out here, we got a cloud. Okay, this would be a good platform to heavily abrade, but I need to catch this with a really down, and this cortex is a little hard. So let's see if we can't do it anyhow. Forces and crushing needed just a little bit softer hammerstone, a little bit slower swing too. You can do those flakes and know that you're going to crush and just smooth rather than have something bad happen. The hammerstones, you have to commit, and it can get ugly in a hurry if you're trying to do too much. Little finger support just to thin in. And there's a seam right there. And just thickening, getting our edges even. I'm running out of possibilities for this hammerstone because my edges are getting kind of sharp. Just a little chalky or a little coarser on that side. Just some low angle trimming away. See how square that is? Grab your hammerstone, would have pulled right through that. Pinching, over striking, and kind of forcing that through, even though it's kind of undulating. This one is going to be harsh and awful, so let's grab a softer sandstone and get through that if we can find one. I bet this is going to be softer. There we go. Yeah, this is chalkier and grabbier. If you overstrike and booger something up, just use that edge and trim carefully. Brush smooth hammerstone. Okay, need a tiny one right there. Actually, that was bigger, but it cut down to that overstruck area. Put a little crack in that overstriking. This is too soft to grind. I need a grittier, grabbier. I think I can. Whoops. I almost just threw my hammerstone into all of my finished obsidian bifaces. Holy Christmas. That would have been a disaster. That would have been very funny, actually. Pushing the limits beyond what's useful for that hammerstone. Notice how thin I am right here. I put a crack, I tried to get rid of it. I got a deep flake that's stressed and hinged out. It was soft enough that the contact absorbed it, and it just, yeah. That's the kind of flake that would be, I mean, this preform, you can look at it if you work enough hammerstones and antler, and there's no amount of antler work that's going to create that look. So it's fun. I should have stopped on this back when I was trimming. But I think I'll be able to punch this out, switch hammerstones, and not go that far. So I think I'm going to start doing intentional mess-up videos, intentional hinge videos, and break stuff and kind of explain why I'm going to break stuff and how things are going to go wrong. Because the hammerstones, I've used them so long, it makes it look like sometimes it's kind of easy. But I spend a lot of times on the gravel bars doing good with the hammerstone, and then just kind of enjoying it, and then just pushing my luck. And you kind of know the wheels are gonna fall off, but it's just kind of fun to, kind of decide when that's gonna happen. So maybe I should do that. Although this rock is kind of cool still. I thought it was gonna be blacker. It's not. It's got some junk, but I'll be able to make something out of that if I stop now. And let's look here, a couple more. This is very low grade, river tumbled Chert, Edwards probably. Yeah, well, that would probably heat treat. So this is a good hammerstone for this. River tumbled edges, mass, kind of hard hammerstone. So how do we go about doing this? It's got this coned area that didn't come out, so we want to turn. There's not really a great way to do this without losing a bunch of length. Okay, that's not going to go too deep. With rough stuff. I'm going to just take a short flake off here. Crack there. And that area weak. I'm glad that happened. That would have been a bear. See this? This is one I never would have picked up. But this is the kind of rock that beginning hammerstone guys should probably work. It's dry and coarse, but this would heat nice too, or it could chip raw. It's so heavy and pointed. And has some cones. So sometimes it's best just to lose some length. Chop, turn, chop, turn. That's a better, softer hammerstone. We can get a small one though. Okay, let's try to take this bottom little short flake, hopefully. Okay, good. Turn, look for an angle. Not ideal, but it'll go. Catching high enough to where I don't just crush. All right. Get a teeny angle in this corner to knock this down to maybe get an angle there. Okay. Make it a little steeper. A little steeper. Not ideal, but that ought to go too. Okay. Now it's smart to, I can use these corners and take a couple more flakes, but this is it's learning when to stop. Make about 30 or 40 of these out of the cobbles, decide which ones break. This kind of rock will have a lot more attrition, but there's a reason why you see so many discards or manufacturer breaks early on, and then make the assumption, well, that the guy who made that is not, is this or that. It's just sort of like the quality of the rock and the ranges of these hammerstones kind of create a lot of variation that can look really stark in the archaeological record. But there'll be 3 points out of that one. It's too bad that sun did that. All right, that's all I can say about that. Anybody that's learning hammerstones, I've used to watch Wesley Shipman in Water Creek. He didn't spend a lot of time finishing stuff, but if we use out fixing fences or whatever and just preforming, really good at using the cortex and the sandstone and making nice little preforms. So it doesn't take years and years and years. It just takes I know how disappointing it is to get a really nice rock and break it. So working on the lower grade rock with these hammerstones, some of the heat-treated ones, if you get a big rock and it's heat-treated, it'll just explode, right? It's too brittle, especially if it's heated early and has an internal issue. So if you've got an area and access to raw cherts that are, weird shapes and small, just take your time, using the hammerstones available, and I think it'll be fun. And so that's a good way to get into it without having to spend a lot of money.